Hold up.
Good day everyone, for today's video, Althea and I are gonna share to you guys about our answers in our art activity.
Our chosen art piece is the conceptual abstract picture of the eye, and it is made by Marie Dean.
Something in this piece that draws us into it was the emotions. What we noticed first was the colors. We think it was manually made by hand since it was said, based on our research, that it was painted with oil that can only be done by hand. Because the colors used were a mixture of both cold and warm colors, it evoked mixed emotions into us while looking at it. There were both happiness and despair that we felt. Our first impression of this art piece was that the colors conveyed mixed emotions too well that we were stuck looking at it for a very long time.
Style. Observation. Dean's artwork or piece depicts things somewhat drastically. Despite the elements, shapes, and various colors that I have seen in it, such as the features, also Dean has liberally posed it so that it appears to have a good vision on how she made it to have a good artwork. In fact, her artwork has many different emotions and expression on it. Also, the subject in the paintings doesn't appear to be how we see it in real life. The subject is much more stylized, observing from the brushstroke, color, and texture as well. For the analysis, this indicates that the painter was dependent on the visual reality but also took use of possibilities to educate the viewer's feelings through artistic modifications, visual cues, and other analysis depending on what they've seen it. It affects at the first sight can really show how it conveyed emotion through its color. The color use capture attention that leaves the audience a self-understanding about the piece itself.
For the color, our observation was that the colors used in this piece are a combination of warm and cold colors. These colors are bright colors too. The materials surrounding each of these contrasts give the work emotions and energy that could be discussed in the interpretation of artwork. There also seems to be a lot of contrast between yellow, a warm color, and green, a cold color. As for the analysis, as what we've seen, the colors play a big role in this piece as they help deliver the emotions and stories to the whole piece.
For the line, our observation, this piece has a lot of vertical lines. Also, the curves and the lashes are seen too. We took note of the eye's flawless curve, particularly where the eyeshadow is applied, which suggests the typically excellent art piece with the conventionally brilliant, but also extremely regular lines around the eyes. So, for the analysis, the lines used gave precision to the whole piece. The artist did a wonderful job with the way she painted the piece. It appears to have many various emotions and has curving lines, which suggests that she may have drawn inspiration from other paintings when creating her own artwork.
As for the texture, our observation is that there is a depicted texture which is the drawing of the subject, the eye itself. It looks like an eye that has a lot of things to say or an eye that has more than one expression. Dane's conceptual illustration of the eye is made with colorful oil painting. It is a conceptual abstract close-up canvas and palette knife in an oil painting. The artist worked very hard to provide the appearance of texture which all invite touch, indicate touch, or at the absolute least, possible tactility if the effort is successful. As for the analysis, we think that the artist chose to depict it like this because the eyes can express so much more than other body parts could ever do, and it feels like magic how the eyes can do such a thing. Also, the artist communicated a feeling of elegance, which makes the use of a distinct pigment in an eye artwork look like a little fancy or purposeful. And how Dane uses his extensive imagination and creativity to communicate his emotion in order to produce such excellent artwork with a good texture.
Ace. Observation. Its lower eyes are cropped, out of image, and it appears to be pushed forward toward the viewer in the painting's foreground. Additionally, notice how little room is there between its eyes and the painting's edge in the background, compared to how much more space there appears to be. This hidden from the viewer by the tiny white dot inside the black circle of the eye. This piece also gives an illusion of depth, because while looking at the exact or the same pictures, everyone can have a different interpretation of it. So, for the analysis, the artwork created a certain mood, and composition use of value has a significant emotional impact. What we perceive is based on the bright and the dark aspect of objects. We think that the artist is made it like this because it gives the audience a sense of wondering, like they are lost in the different world.
With the composition, our observation was that the visual elements of this piece seem balanced, but while looking at it closely, our eyes started to move around into the wonders of its colors. The colors and shapes inside the picture are what differentiate it from other paintings, despite how similar they are in how the circle was constructed. As for the analysis, maybe the artist depicted this piece the way it is so the audience would be lost in its vibe of colors like what happened to us. And it does affect how the viewers think of the piece because this caught the attention of the viewers.
For the scale, our observation, the piece is not that small or big. It's just in the right size that you can see it as a whole and have your eyes wander off as well. The purpose of this artwork is to elicit thinking and dialogue from its audience. Every person who encounters a work of art interprets it different because when we dwell on it, we dive into our own memories and nostalgia. So, for the analysis, based on the context of the painting's appearance, this style is also pretty useful as it can be seen as a whole or start from a corner, then let your eyes lead you to where it leads you. The viewer can also make a connection with it. The interplay between these elements further distance the viewers from the fine art substance.
Hey, we're in part 4 right now. So the first question for part 4, our answer is, its effects is that it helped the piece convey a message or an emotion that the artist wants to send to the viewers. For the next question of part 4, our answer is that the visual elements work together in a way that they complement each other. The colors won't be defined without the brush strokes, and so does the lines that can be defined better through the colors.
1. This piece communicates to its viewers thought its colors that help deliver what the piece itself is trying to say. Supporting observation 1. So, the supporting observation 1, the warm colors show positive emotion within the piece. Supporting observation 2, while the cold colors show the emotion of sadness or despair.
So that will be the sum up of our answers all put together.
So that will be the end of the video. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye-bye.